Started recording. Good morning, good evening, and welcome wherever you are in the world. I think we are in for a treat again today. I'm saying that every time. It's because I think we have a treat every time. It's like, yeah, it's so nice. Today we are going to hear from a person who's been a nurse for many, many years. And she's actually been taking care, I think, of a lot of people. She's actually been working in a hospice as well. And I find that very admirable, because I think it's a very hard job. So there must be a very good psyche behind this woman. So I hope that you are ready to buckle up, and I am going to leave you with Nelda Castillo. So here you go, Nelda.
Okay, good morning, everyone. Welcome, welcome, welcome to our Global Cellular Health Center. I love this call because it gives me a lot of knowledge and wisdom, and that's something, I mean, that just fills my spirit, fills my heart. Love it so much. So today we're going to talk about how to use motivational tools. And this is my individual journey with motivation, and your journey may be different. And so at the end, we'll have a Q&A so that, be thinking about questions about your motivation. What motivates you? Do you know what motivates you? Are you motivated? Are you motivated? And what can someone do to motivate you? Remember, we're all different. There's no perfect script. I believe in being authentic, and that's what I'm going to share with you today. So I'm going to try to bring my PowerPoint on right now. Is it on? I'll put share screen and tell me if you see that, Dr. Gary. Let's see. Do you see that?
Beautiful.
Okay, thank you. Okay, so basically just how to use motivational tools. I'm Nelda Castillo from Lubbock, Texas. I've been a registered nurse for 28 years. I'm a cellular health coach, very proud of the knowledge I have received through that. And so today, buckle up, take notes, and get ready to share from your heart anything that you learned and gained from this. So here we go. So motivation, when and where does it begin? Motivation to me comes from within our mind, our heart, and spirit. It comes from you. It comes from me. And it's our responsibility to bring our energy and passion into whatever we are doing. Motivation to me is a fire within you, and you just burn bright in everything that you do because you are created for more. Listen to your heart and your soul and be authentic. Be the best version of you that you were created to be. You have the tools within you. Believe it, that is true. And the more you believe it, the more that you can really resonate, and you are going to become a magnet for people. It's going to make you more attractive. It's going to give you the tools that you need. The more you practice that, the better you become. So developing motivation begins early in life. And I was really thinking about this. When does it really begin? Well, as our parents, we're around our parents when you're born, your siblings, your friends, your teachers, your mentors, the persons we surround ourselves with, that is so crucial. Very crucial factors. The books that we read, what you allow into your mind, the material that we're exposed to, and the events that we participate in. So I was thinking, when did it start for me? As a child, I remember, I thought, you know what, you're created for more. You can do more. And I love that I have that in me. I believe we all have it. And I believe that we need to search for it. If you haven't found it, I believe that each one of us has it. But if you feel like, maybe I lost it, where did I lose it? Where is it? You have it. It's there. Dig a little deeper. And to me, as I was growing up, sometimes I see my grandkids, my parents were very encouraging. They taught me a lot of knowledge. And then through that process, I became confident. So they praised the process rather than the outcome. Sometimes we want you to do better, but you know what? They always praised the process. I think that's very, very important for each of us to do, because we can always find a negative, but guess what? It's in the process, it's in the journey, not the outcome. Because help someone to see that falling short is an opportunity to learn and improve. And, that took me a while to get that, but it's true. Just because you fail does not make you a failure. The individual will be motivated to work hard if you encourage them. They're more likely to believe that we can achieve what we set our mind to. Those are really strong words for me, because that's what was instilled in me as with my parents, my siblings, my teachers, my friends, the mentors that we've met, the books that I read. So, help someone, through that journey. I love, love, love. I'm a very encouraging person, and that's a blessing. I love that. I'm supportive. So be encouraging, be supportive. It will build confidence. It builds yours and your other person, the other individual. Failing is growth. We don't want to fail, but guess what? Failing is growing. I find growth when I fail, because I think, what could I do better? How could I improve? I want to be better. So just because we fell, get back up, do it again. And, I always think, do the best that you can and learn from the shortcomings, because you learn a lot if you're able to look at that. That to me is real growth. And look for the positive in everything. So that's so important. Okay, so motivational tools. One of the biggest things that I have to think about is why. What is my why? Why do I want to be motivated? Why do I want to accomplish something? So really look at your why and peel it down. Why? Why do you want to be better? And if you're better, why do you want to be better? Why do you want to be better at knowledge? Why do you want to gain more knowledge in whatever areas? So know your why. That's number one. Vision boards, we know they're key. And be specific. Make a vision board. They can be small ones, they can be big ones, they can be big goals, but be specific. If you want a red, Ferrari, whatever it is you want, whatever color it is, you want a beautiful, red coat, whatever it is, be specific about your outcomes and be realistic. If you want to achieve whatever that dream is, set measurable goals and outcomes expected. What do you expect the outcome to be? I just don't believe in writing a goal down, because a goal without setting measurable outcomes, what I'm expecting, I won't achieve it. I have to have a goal. What do I want the outcome to be? And what am I willing to do to get there? So I set measurable goals and outcomes, expect what I'm expecting on a calendar, and then put a target date. Because if you don't put a target date, it's probably not going to happen, because there's no, it's not measurable and you're not pushing yourself. There needs to be a target date. So I love to make it a daily habit to work towards your goals. How does that happen? Well, today, I know from yesterday, I wrote a lot of things down, what I want to accomplish, write them down. And then tonight, review that and see what I didn't accomplish and accomplish it tomorrow. But I like to look at the most difficult thing. I try to do that first and get that out of the way. In nursing, if I have a very difficult task to do, I love that I can look at my list and go, you know what, that's something right there that you really don't enjoy doing, but it has to be done. And I love to get that out of the way first, because then everything else is going to be phenomenal, because I already did what I didn't want to do that had to be done. And so it really creates positivity for me. So set part-time goals on the way to build momentum. Part-time goals are important to build momentum. So break it down in small pieces. So it's not just one big elephant. Break it down in small portions. I do that. And I love to see progress. I track my progress and I keep a notebook. Write it down. Where am I with this? Where do I need to go? One of the biggest key points for me is, if I want to complete a task, I write down what the task is. I write down the date by when it has to be done. And then I myself write everything down that has to be done to complete that goal. And once you see it, you will go and you will do the most important first, because you know there's a date. You must get this done and this done and this done. And these are the dates, and you see progress. So I honestly believe keeping a notebook, tracking your progress, whatever way is best for you. And then reward yourself for the little and the big wins. You know, whatever, if you're like, okay, I got through 5 of these things by 10 o'clock or by 11 o'clock, that was a win. You know, celebrate that, reward yourself. I love waking up, practicing gratitude, because when you do, if your mind was kind of like in the negative and you start being grateful and say, you know, Lord, thank you for the day that you gave me. Thank you for the breath in my lungs. Thank you for the home. And, you know, everything that you can think of that you have, you will be grateful. That gratitude really opens up a great mindset. If you're in a negative frame of mind, or someone around you is negative, change your environment. It's okay to do that. Sometimes you have to say, you know what, I need a little break. I'll be back, whatever. But your mind will tell you. If you're so excited and then you get into a room and it's going in the opposite direction, assess that and go, I need to change the environment. For a few minutes, change it, change your mindset. So get away from negative environment. And then the next thing, let's see if I'm having a little trouble moving forward. Do you see the next one? Okay, here we go. Okay, so powerful motivation tools. I love music. Music motivates me. Whatever that is for you, it may be music, it may be dance, whatever that is, find it. You probably already know what that is. And I listened to that before and it motivates me. Quotes motivate me. Affirmations. I am, I can, I will, I have. I love waking up, looking in the mirror. And I tell myself, I love you. I love you. I love you. That's important. And I also speak to my creator and I say the same thing. I love you. I love you. I love you. And wow, guys, that really makes my day phenomenal when I start my day like that. I listen to audibles. Those are powerful motivational tools. Whatever you enjoy that motivates you, I highly recommend that. Surround yourself with mentors, team calls, events, people that really motivate you. But look and find what that is. Don't just go and go, I'm just going with the flow. Find what really motivates you. Life is short and we need to live it today. So find that motivation. Be part of a team like this team. Be active in your participation and give it your best, because when you give it your best, you receive your best. When you're part of the team, you give of your best brilliance and it comes back to you 100 times 100 times 100-fold. One thing I like to do is share your goal with someone whose opinion you value, like Dr. Gary. It strengthens your commitment to attaining your goal. That's very powerful. Share it with someone whose opinion you value. It will strengthen your commitment to attaining your goal. Self-improvement in your areas of weakness. To me, this is one key factor for me. I look at the areas that I'm good at and I know that, but my best tip on this screen is self-improvement. Find an area that we know we're weak in. I do that, and then I study it and I work on that area. And then that area becomes a strength, but it is in repetition that I find that. And that's a big deal for me. When I thought about what can I share, that is a big deal for me. Find the area that you know you're weak. And most of us don't like to look at our weaknesses. Nobody really likes that, but I do. I do, because in those areas I have become stronger and I still have areas of improvement. I'm a work in progress. So have a strong, positive mindset. Be you, be your authentic self. Encourage people, encourage yourself, be supportive of others, supportive of what you're doing. We need that. Celebrate your wins, celebrate your struggles, because through the wins, through the struggles, there is growth. And I am so impacted by that. Sometimes we don't want to struggle, but guess what? It's through the struggle that we find growth. At this time, I'd like to open it up for any questions or comments that you have. I'm going to go ahead and stop the share if that's okay with you, Dr. Gary. And then we can proceed.
All I can say is, wow, you've encapsulated almost everything that I would have ever thought about motivation in just 20 minutes. I can't, that's unbelievable. Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you. That's what I wanted to do. I wanted this to have an impact. And it was just from the heart, because I am a very positive person, but I have to really work at it. But I have found when I put this all down, I thought, wow, that is amazing. But I also know that this is my individual journey with motivation. And I would like to know what, Dr. Gary, what else would you add? Because there is brilliance in this room today. There is brilliance. Someone might say, oh, well, what about this? Because that's a key factor for me. So, Dr. Gary, what would you add?
I wouldn't add anything at all. Just do it. And I know that we have a few questions up there, though. Yeah, Nelda.
Melanie has oh,
Yeah.
did she go again?
No,
Melanie?
I'm here.
Oh,
I don't know,
hi.
somebody lowered my hand. Maybe you did. Just I wanted to come out with wow, just like Dr. Gary did. He said kind of basically ditto.
Thank you.
That was just so wonderful. I felt like, oh man, I want to be on her team.
Thank you.
And like everything I've ever read and really believed, and I did not wake up real positive this morning. And I listened to something before I got here, but man, that was so wonderful. Nelda, I'm so glad to get to know you.
Thank you, Melanie. That means a lot to me.
I'm gonna mute and cry. I just am so happy to get
Happy
to know
tears,
you.
Melanie. Happy tears.
Yep.
Yes.
Thank you.
Good. Iris?
Yes, I'm going to keep my camera because I'm not feeling well, but wow, that was really inspired to me also. I believe in what you said, and I, oh my goodness, it's just kind of open up the doors a lot of times. I wanted to ask you just a little question for you. When you say know your why, can you explain that to me a little bit? Because the why, it's a lot of people that I've been talking with. They say, well, why? Why do I need to? How do you find your why?
Well, I would say, for one thing, when I ask people, what is your why? Or why do you want to? And so whatever their goal is, let's say my goal is to spend more time with family. So what would I do? What does that mean to me, spending time with family? To me, that means setting a time, a weekend or a week, and then starting to plan that week. What do you want that week to look like? So let's just say I want to go to a cabin, or I want to be, wherever, let's just say a cabin, or to Hawaii. So I'm just going to say, okay, where do we want to go? So I start making the plan. So break down the plan. You want to go for a week. What week is it? And then say, okay, then why do you want to do that? Well, I not only want to take my family there, but I want one-on-one time. And how's that going to happen? It's going to happen when you sit down and you gather. And instead of just somebody being on their phone while you're having dinner, you want the phones off. Why do you want that? Because you want to know that person, because time is limited and we rush through life. So to me, family time is important. So you find a time, we have to set a time aside because life happens and we're too busy. So go for a week, set it up, have dinner, and have those conversations. What type of conversations? Get a little deeper. Get to know your grandkids, get to know your spouse. And so what are you going to talk about? I'm just saying, break it down, break it down, break it down. To me, that's important. Like this weekend, we had a great weekend, like Dr. Gary said, Easter Oh my goodness, amazing, amazing. Because I wanted quality time with my grandkids. And that's what happened. You sit down and you play a game and you ask questions and you find out more about them. And when they respond, wow, what a gift you receive, because they gave you the knowledge, because you're teaching them, but they're teaching you in the same way. So I'm just saying, break it down and be specific and be focused on what you really want the outcome to be. Does that help, Iris?
Yeah, it does. Thank you. And I also get motivated with music too. So I was just listening to you, the music and the dance, those are the things that really motivates me. Gary's a little bit different, and I don't know if because our man, but he gets more motivated with when he's talking about something important. Well, I get motivated all the time. We as women, we have to be motivated all the time because we're the ones in charge in the house. We have to cook, we have to do a lot of things in our house, and plus we have to take care of our health, ourselves. So thank you so much. I appreciate that, Nelda. Appreciate
You're
it.
welcome. You're welcome. I love dance. I love music. So find the music that motivates you. You know what that is. And it's okay to dance, because you know what? There is a time to dance, and you can dance, and it doesn't matter if anybody's looking. It does not matter. You are happy, find your joy and bring it out. And when you bring it out and you be you, I love that about me. I mean, my husband may think, oh my goodness, what if you turn the music off? What would that sound like? Well, you know what? That's totally different. But to me, I love to dance. He doesn't, but I do. So I turn up the music, something I love, motivates me. And then, of course, the audible. So I just use all of that. And I think we have so many powerful tools that we don't use, and we just kind of go ho-hum in our life. But there are things that can motivate you. So great music, whether, whatever type you like, that's up to you. But find something that really motivates you. And I think there's some
Thank
other.
you, Uni.
Hi, that was very good. I like that very much. I have a question to you, Nelda, concrete. Do you have a tip for switching away from my negative thinking or a thought when I know when it is there, and how to easily switch it over to something better? And also, when from negative reactions, negative saying from other people, how to switch those so that they are not hurting me.
Yes, so that's I've learned about that, because when you have a team or you have people in your life that are not as positive as you have to think about what is being said and how it's impacting you, because you might be so excited and then you hear someone say, well, yeah, but if you did it this way, it probably won't work. And I'm like, okay, right there, you have to stop that thought and go, but I'm going to do this, this, and this, and this. So to me, I just changed the thought. Don't allow that to get into your brain, because that's going to change you. If you are hearing a conversation and someone is saying, oh, I've got this wrong and this wrong and this wrong and this wrong, and this is not, I can't do this, I can't do that. I really say, you know what? Sometimes it just depends. You need to shut down that conversation, and really you've got it. It's not easy, but you can say, okay, so what is positive about this? You find the positive in that situation. And then I take it on to the positive. It's not easy, but you almost have to steer the conversation in a different direction. But the mindset, what you allow in your brain, let's say it's maybe something on the radio that's coming through, maybe on the TV, or your friend is like, oh, I'm having such a bad day, da, 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 da. Say, you know what? We're going to change that. Let's go and do this. Okay. So then it's like, we're not going to go there. We're going to bring it up here. So it's in what you allow, and then what you say, and then your actions. If I'm in a negative environment, someone is saying negative, 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 I honestly have to remove myself from that and say, you know what, I'm going to take a break. I'll be back. I have to get this done. And that helps. So it takes action, but it's a repetition. You have to be aware that it's happening, because you can sit there for 30 minutes and go, oh my goodness, that just stopped me in my tracks. So don't allow that to happen. Be aware.
Thank you.
Did that answer your question, Uni?
No, I'm fine.
Good, perfect. Then Lila has a question.
Yes, first I was very impressed because it was so complete. And I'm in a process of like connecting the dots. And so I recognize very much of this, but I especially appreciate this with struggle. We need to struggle to grow.
Yes.
And also, I think you have a lot of experience, otherwise you couldn't make this list. So I like not
you.
only theoretical things. So I like that you have been through this. And I'm interested in this, how because I'm a former GP, so I was running around and fixing and things. And so I'm slowly learning to understand, to find my inner peace and to be creative and all that. And I will. So I think this paradigm, I've been trained to look after symptoms and illnesses and disease and all that. So I think I've been looking for what is my authentic language. And I just very recently started to make some notes. And I had great difficulty in my relationship with economy, money, because there are old patterns in the generations that you're still carrying. But you need to be still to observe yourself, and then you can make the choice. I started to listen a couple of years. I went to the Swedish church, Protestant, to understand words a different way. So I pick up something. In Sweden, we don't really talk about God. We are very, away from that. But now I think if you say the universe, old principles, well, we are very much alike. So I don't have difficulty with that now, because I think I had some impaired hearing from when I was 3 years old. So I think perhaps I was looking around, I didn't understand, I didn't have the language, but I still like now I want this, we should have playfulness. I want the church to come back to have sacred dance. Everybody can take, and it's slow, but I think it's to keep on track. This is to be with you. And I'm especially appreciate that I can understand your voice and can relax, because some people with accents and from Asia, or I have more difficulty to follow, so my brain is so tired. I understand. I don't want to just to be alone. I need to rest. So I'm learning daily rhythm. So, but I really appreciate this session and to be with the company. My mother was Danish, and I love to see Vicky every time. I'm not so digital, but that is some of my skills I will continue to learn. And actually, I read about, because as a doctor, when I worked, I was an employee. I was not allowed to tell the patient something else, what they could do outside the frame I was working in. Now I saw there was a 28-year-old GP, and just before the corona and so on, she understood that young people, they are on social media. So she had been on TikTok and she has an Instagram. And I thought, can they do that now? Because I think now it's like I put everything I knew in a freezer. I've been benchmarking, and then it's like the ice should melt, and then comes a lot of words. So I stay with that. So I asked the young guy to come, and I would like to know this about this doctor. She has some Egyptian ancestors, and they were caring and so on. So, but I would like the role of the doctor. It has been so
Laila,
Yeah.
sorry, I'm interrupting you, but you have asked a lot of questions, and before Nelda forget them, I think we should let her answer some of them on the way.
Yeah, well, I just think the most important is this with repetition and dates, and also have a community, somebody to talk to. But I know I've packed down a lot, so it's good, Vicky. You just stop me. I'm comfortable.
So I think one of the things that you enjoyed the most is that through our struggles, there is growth. So just know that. And then just be yourself. You're great just the way you are, and be authentic with people and just one-on-one. So to me, just be focused on the person that you're talking to and be yourself, and you can be at peace. Because before, there's so many things that we could be racing around, but be focused and centered and just be true to who you are and be the best you, and you're going to be fine. So that's what I would say. But we're all going to have struggles. But before, I really did not look at struggles to be growth, but it really is. And just because we fail, we are not failures. And I really thought before that I was a failure if I failed, but that's not true. That's not true. It just means, hey, I just did something that needs to be tweaked. So you tweak it and you tweak it and you're like, oh my goodness, now I see what happens. And when you're feeling uncomfortable, that's probably growth happening. So embrace it. Embrace it. Yes. Go ahead.
Yeah.
Did that answer your questions, Lila?
Well, it's the thing that what I've been thinking about. I can, vad heter det när man har, like feedback. It's just that I said, wow, when I saw this list. Well, I've been a little here and there, but it was very complete. So I think this is what I go for. People who have suffered, they have, I mean, miracles are natural in a way, but we don't find them in allopathic medicine. You need to look broader. Like fermentation, you self-care, you do a lot of things you can do and find that we are unique, we are different. And I think fears, we have so many illusions about fears. So I'm reading a book now, Letting Go, by a psychiatrist, David Hawkins, and I'm amazing. I will read it over and over. I just started, but his life story, because doctors, what do they do? Are they like robots there? So much is on decline. So we need to be like the bird phoenix, gone to ashes. We need to raise up again.
But Lila, don't forget that you can always go in and listen this back. So if you want to hear it again, it's always a possibility to listen in. I will come back to you if you have any more questions, but we have a few more. So get your hand up again in case you have any more questions, Lila. And
repetition is key. I take down my hand.
Exactly.
Thank you, Vicky. Well, Nelda, thank you so much. That was really impressive, and I strongly believe in every word you said. And I think you answered a lot of my, things, like life gets in the way. And how do you deal with that? Like you have relatives, you have family who are probably negative. So how do you manage that without hurting their feelings, and also things are changing in life, like, there are so many apps, that's for everything in life. So how do you put a line where that's enough for me and I'm not going to expand and put more, because that takes a lot also. If you want to keep up with the technology and everything that's going on. So that's probably the part, like, how do you deal with that? Every changes fast. Thank you.
Oh, I'm not sure. Hopefully I can answer your question. So this is what I have learned. Before, I would allow negativity to come into my mind, but in studying the knowledge about how the brain works and how you can keep knowledge out that you don't need, I've studied the brain. So I love that part because I love knowledge. And so you might do that and it's going to help you. And then you will know when it's time to say something, because before I wouldn't say anything if I was hearing negativity that was coming towards me. And then I said, okay, I am hearing negativity. That's negative for me. And I really don't want to hear that. That doesn't help me. So I've been able to say it where before I really didn't want to hurt people's feelings. Not that I'm hurting people's feelings. I'm just having to be more cautious. There's kindness there, but there has to be that conversation, because that is difficult when it's someone that's close to you, if it's family. And then some you may not be able to tackle as easily as that, but it's been a process. And it's been a process, but I can do it now. And I'm so happy that I can, because it will impact you if you don't. And you're going to come across a team. And I'm not saying it's on my team. I'm just saying you will have a team or people that you're with, a group that you're leading or supportive in any organization, maybe at church, whatever. And then you have a negative person talking, and you're going to say, you're going to have to try to steer it in the right direction. So I've just learned, but as far as the brain, you can control what goes into your head. You can, and then you can say it with kindness, but just be real about what you need. And to me, just focus on what your needs are. That's what I do. What do you really want to focus on? What do you need? What are you weak at? And focus on that and become better. I do that in the evening, say, okay, what do I want to do? I want to learn this. One was social media. And I was like, oh my goodness, it's crazy. How do you do this, this, this? Well, guess what? I would ask questions, but I wouldn't get the answers I was looking for, because it takes a process to get those answers. And so we have to go through the process to get the answers, to get the knowledge that nobody can take away. And
Thank
so
you so much. Appreciate
you're
it.
welcome.
Thank you.
You're welcome. You're welcome. I hope that helps. Mhm.
Absolutely.
Brent? Brent, can you hear us? You have your hand up?
Having difficulty unmuting yourself, Brent? There you go.
Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Great. Hey, the last thing you said is so important for people to understand. And the struggle is growth. That is the way you stay positive, by understanding that. Because strength only comes by overcoming adversity. In life, we go from one struggle after another, in mentally, physically, and spiritually. That's how we grow. That's how we overcome. And if people understood that that is the process, then they're going to look at the struggle as a positive thing, a challenge, instead of a problem. A problem is a negative thing. A challenge is a positive thing. And that way, the glass is half full, not half empty. So that was a perfect way to end that discussion. Thank you. And I have to get off the freeway now, so I will sign out. And thank you very much, Nelda.
Thank you, Brent. I appreciate that. And that is so true.
Drive safely.
So there's always a solution. You know, you can find lots of problems, but guess what? There's a solution to every problem. So find the solution, and that's where the growth comes. Because people can say, well, you can't do this because of this. You can't do this because of this. But guess what? I can, and I will. And so it's your mindset. So a strong mindset, and just push through. Believe in yourself. You have every tool that you need. Stay positive.
But it's kind of funny. We were talking about failing, making mistakes, not hitting goals, or whatever you want to call it. I actually think that it's brave people that will understand and acknowledge that if they can fail their way to success, they will have a lot of learning come out of it in the end. So a mistake, it's just an opportunity in the disguise. So don't see yourself as a failure. See yourself as a truth seeker, or a goal seeker, or whatever you are wanting in your life. I think that's very important. And one said something about grandkids. You know what the fun thing about grandkids are? You've got them because they have something they want to learn you. But it's not always the grandparents are listening.
That's true.
Bear that in mind.
You also said something about not wanting to hurt other people by being forthright, you know, and straight, being yourself. And I've learned also that you actually hurt people more when you're not authentic.
That's right.
And when, you know, you're not being yourself. And it's kind of depriving people of you.
Mhm.
You know, what
Absolutely.
you are inside and what you feel. So I think that that's a really good observation too, or thing to know, understand.
Thank you. And I was going to say, everyone here on this call, you were made for more. Just really take that in. You are made for more. You have so much experience inside of you that you can share. I love that part. And when you find it, when it's you, the real you, be you, because that's who you're supposed to be. Don't try to be anybody else, because you're amazing just the way you are. And when you find that, that's why it becomes easier to say, you know what, you don't want me to change. You want me to be me, like Dr. Gary said. You want to be authentic, because then that's when you're true to yourself and you're going to get the most out of life. Your journey is going to be what it's supposed to be. And if you're not true to yourself, your journey is not going to be that. And you don't want to have that shortcoming. So I just love what I have learned through my journey, because if not, I couldn't be authentic. I couldn't love people the way I do. I couldn't be compassionate the way I am. So those are key factors. Be compassionate with yourself. See you, your being. Who are you? Who were you created to be? And then find that and go and live that every day.
Thank you, Nelda. Sarah?
Thank you, Nelda. Amazing topic. So I want to just add to something Dr. Gary said. I'm learning now too. The reason why we are afraid of saying the truth to other people, because we judge them that they cannot handle. We judge them through our eyes. So we are actually disservicing them. This took me a while to figure that way, but everything is within me, even thinking about how other people is. So I just wanted to share that. And then about the failure, Michael Jordan, he failed more in his shots than he made it. But all we know is, I mean, that's how he became a superstar. But all we know is, what he accomplished, but behind that, he did more. There's a numbers like more failure. So that should encourage us. And another thing that I strongly believe in, I feel like that's what I'm a kind of a, we all are, but I am also one of them. But actually, the only thing left with you that you can give to other people as a gift is your your pain, the journey you had to go through to come out. So you become you become a bigger person, and underlying that, through that journey, you actually possess a superpower and become a gift. So that actually changed our perspective when we go through the struggle. So that's all I wanted to share. Thank you so much.
It's true.
Wise words, Sarah, as always. One thing I just popped into my mind now, I don't know if you thought about that. When we talk about being afraid of hurting people with our words, then sometimes I think we need to consider two things. As Sarah said, if you're not coming from an honest place within yourself, and you know that you are just speaking the truth, you are telling someone something to make them better or make you better in being honest. And then there's the people that are rude. Don't confuse those two things, because they are the opposite of each other. I have a saying, you know, if people are rude to me, I will turn around and I will smile and my biggest tooth smile up in their face, and I'll say, sorry, did you take a special education in being so rude? Because if you did, you just passed. And they don't know what to do. They don't know how to respond. So don't be afraid. If people overstep your limit, tell them. If you don't teach people how you want them to treat you, they will do whatever they like. But be honest, be nice, and let it come from your heart. Sorry, Nelda.
No, that's fine. I would just add one thing that I believe is very important too. When someone is responding, I really look and see I'm more compassionate, and then I try to put myself in their place. Because, you know, when I compare what they're going through compared to what I'm going through pales in comparison, and it's difficult. Their journey is more difficult than mine, maybe on that day. And I really try to look at that, because that has really helped me tremendously, because it's not about just my perspective, my point of view, but it's putting myself in their place. Because if I was in their place, I'm like, I don't know that I could handle it as well as you have. And that gives me so much respect for people. And I see that. So I love the fact that I can see that. And I think it's important for all of us to see it. There's a reason somebody's responding in a different way. They may have it tougher than we do. We don't know their journey. So, you know, just respect that and just be the best you that you can, because you're being placed in that place to see them, and it's not about me. So I love that part, that God has given me the insight for that.
There's something else that I've found that's very true. When somebody is being rude, like they said, like you said, often you know, there's a completely different feeling. It's not heart at peace sort of a thing. You know, they're not trying to explain themselves. Often that they are reflecting on their own weakness. So, you know, they say, hey, you're such a liar. It could be that they also feel that way about themselves. And so, you know, often it's a reflection, and it has nothing to do with you, except they just see a little piece of something they really don't like about themselves when you.
True. True.
So there's a lot that we need to you know, discover as we're relating to one another. But what I was saying is being absolutely honest and truthful with a heart of peace.
And don't you think that one of the strongest things you can ever do is to look someone in the eye and say, I forgive you? They won't maybe not like to hear it, but if they've been so rude, I know they must have, you know, a lot of problems or a lot of trouble, and we don't know where it comes from, but it comes from somewhere. And I'm not very good at negativity like you, Nelda. Sarah?
So something Vicky said, there's a little thing that it just perked my ears. So this is very personal journey, but I learned that when people respond certain way, there are some people that you're not trying to win, but there are some people you cannot win over, because it's just not it's not their time. They're not in the season. So I learned that the best way to respect them is not to chase them. You know, not chasing the people who do not listen to you, or who has, of course, it's not about you. It's how somehow they are in the place with all their life experience. They are built, they are molded the way they are right now. And it's actually our arrogance that we think we can change them, because we can't. So let them go. I'm not that doesn't mean you let the relationship go, but let them go and be you and let them be them. And they have to go through their own, a journey to get to the place where they're supposed to go to, because we all are different. We all have different gifts. So it may sound a little bit harsh, but it comes down to do not chase people that who has no interest in listening to you, something like that. To me, that is actually respect. So
I
Sarah,
think
I would-
you're right, Sarah, and I totally understand your comment on what I was saying, but I think I forgot to say that what I was referring to is when you are in public and you can't do anything and you don't know the person. I think that sometimes we also have to guard ourselves to a point that there must be a degree of what I find appropriate for me. And I think it's a polite way to stop them, or even try to, scratch their hard disk so they go somewhere else. Because have you ever realized negative people need company? They cannot be negative alone. So they very often need company. Don't give them that company. Turn
like to-
around.
I'd like to
yeah,
share.
they like to transfer that negative energy to others because they need to create their own community. This is subconscious thing. So like all of us, we have this energy. We go into the room, we carry some kind of positive energy. So we change, we kind of influence other people, like what Nelda just did whole hour here. But people who has low energy, low frequencies with negative and destructive thinking, they may not say, hey, I carry this energy, but you can feel it. And they like to communicate who they are to other people, like exactly what Vicky said. And so we need to be able to discern and actually interfere. So block it so you don't receive that. That's also loving them. When you say, no, I'm not gonna take your thing, that's how we actually love ourselves, but also that's how we love them, because you help them not to do that. They may not know that, but at least we know.
So I was going to say, we go back to where did it come from? As you were growing up, some of these things developed in you, and that's what you believe. That doesn't mean it's true. And maybe you picked up a negative, a habit from someone, and you continue that because you think that's okay. But to me, I believe for me, what really helped me is I was in a positive environment when I was growing up. I'm not saying there was always positive. I'm just saying how you deal with it. And I was taught to deal with it. But then the things I don't like, self-improvement, you have to analyze that. So to me, there was a lot of self-improvement because I wanted to be better. I don't want to be negative. I want to be positive. And I'm around more positive people. And I know that whoever I'm around makes a big difference. They impact you. So if you crave negative, you seek negative, you stay negative. But if you don't and you want to change, you have the power to do that. And that's what I know. I had the power to do that. I looked at my areas of weakness. I wanted to be better. I changed my environment and I seek more positive people. And that makes a difference. But you have to find your weakness. And we all have them. And I did have some of that. But the more you find that is phenomenal, the attraction to the positive makes you better, helps you break through easier instead of the struggles. So I'm just saying it's in the development, in the self-improvement, finding your weakness and knowing, hey, do I like this about me? What is good and what is bad? Reflecting on you. To me, that's what I believe has developed me. And I can't say enough about the people I surround myself with. That is a key factor. So sometimes those 5 people that are around you, are they all positive? If they're not, we need to make a change. That would be my recommendation.
You know what, Nelda? It's been our pleasure today. Thank you very much for enlightening us and giving us a lot of good words. I really hope that you are all been left with a bag of seeds.
Mm.
So go and sow whatever you need. I don't know what you need or what you need or you need or you need, but you have a bag of seeds now. So all you need to do is go and sow it somewhere where you know it's gonna come up. Of course, we are going to be back next Thursday, and next Thursday is a bit special because next Thursday it's actually going to be Dr. Gary and Judy together. I don't know what they're going to do. I think they've got a plan of somewhat. So thank you very much for listening, and remember that the only way negative people can influence you is if you let them. Dr. Gary, will you tell us goodbye?
Yes, goodbye. Next week is preventative medicine by Judy, and we'll be talking about how to stay out of the hospital. And very well. No, I've enjoyed this very, very much. Nelda, I can't express. It was just absolutely perfect to the T. Almost every item that you expressed, I just can't believe that you were able to cover so much in so little time. I'm so grateful for you. That's one to play back. Let's play this one back.
Thanks, everyone. I appreciate each one of you that I could share and add value to your life. So just take it in and go for it. You were made for more, guys. Made for more.
You betcha.
Very good. Thank you. And enjoy this. For me, we have a worldwide conference this weekend. I'm looking forward to Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints worldwide conference. You can look it up. There's broadcasts and everything on the internet if you want to peek in and see what we're doing. But anyway, very, very good. Thank you, everybody, and we'll take care. Take care.
Good weekend, everyone.
Thank you.
All the same to you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, everyone. Thank you, Nelda. It was just amazing, honey. Just
Welcome.
amazing.
Thank you. Thank you.
Can't wait to
Bye.
hear it again.